Hello, I'm Dusan Grant, Creative Director for Arthur Christine Salon Academy.
And I'm Rachel Grant, Color Director.
And welcome to our tutorials.
Hello and thank you for joining us. My name is Dusan Grant, Creative Director for Arthur Christine. Joined here by my beautiful wife, Rachel, who is going to be demonstrating a technique today that's specific for the natural texture that we have on some of our models today. We have Sherry, who has a beautiful short graduated look. We want to just further define the definition of the curl. We're going to be using just a couple variations of product. We're going to be using the bodybuilder. We used Kevin Murphy today. We're very inspired by his line at the moment. So we use Kevin Murphy just to add a little bit more volume to her shape. And then we're going to finish off to add some texture with the resort spray. And Rachel's going to kind of just share with you what she's going to do on her model, which is going to be very exciting.
Hi, this is my model Monica. Today I'm going to be using Miss Jessie's Curly Pudding. As you can see, her natural texture is not too frizzy. We wanted to show off a little bit of diversity with having one short model and one long model, and just showing you what that looks like and just how to give that person definition if they didn't want to wash their hair every day. So we're going to show step by step how to do their hair. Right now it's in their natural state. There's no product in there, and she has beautiful color here. So we'll be right back after we've had them shampooed and start our demo for you today.
So as you can see, my model Sherry's hair has already been saturated earlier. I wanted to work with the natural texture as much as possible. Her cut is truly her style. But to give a little bit more definition, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to provide to her hair. I'm going to be using my product of choice today, the Kevin Murphy Bodybuilder. You're going to see me comb that product through. So when I comb the product through, it's going to evenly distribute the product through the hair. And then afterwards, after the hair is completely dry, we're going to add some additional texture with the resort spray. And so I'll lift the hair off of the head shape and just mist it underneath the roots. That's going to give her some really nice amount of lift and texture and definition to the curl. And so Rachel's going to follow over here and give you an idea of what her technique is going to be.
And as you brush your hair often, you can get through it rather quickly with this brush. First, you're going to lightly go over the hair, not digging too much. You never want to yank through the hair, okay? So you never want to pull through it. If you reach resistance, and you're going to just brush it out from the ends. And as you do it, actually, this helps you get a lot faster than, say, a comb. And it's also going to make my job easier when I get the product through the hair. So Dusan, what are you doing over there?
Well, at the moment, I've already combed my mousse through. So just to, again, to add a little bit more definition, I'm using a kind of a clawing technique where I'm using the inside of the web of my hands to add a little bit more of a definition with the product. And so it's very significant that the way that you actually apply the product to natural texture or curly hair, so to speak, to make the curl have the most optimal effect. And so that's where I'm at the moment. Then afterwards, I'm going to finish off, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to use the resort spray just to add some additional texture to her hair. I'm going to finish off with the diffuser. I'm going to use high heat, low speed so I can set my curl in a little bit more delicately. And then afterwards, we should come out with a really fantastic finish that's going to complement the look that she actually has already, which is this beautiful, short, graduated haircut.
Yes, and as Dusan was mentioning, what I've just done is part the hair in one section. If you want it home, you can always part it in 4 sections. But these little things can actually be added more time to your day. So what I did was I just sectioned her hair back here. I just grabbed it like a ponytail and I clipped it away. And then my section here is about 1.5 to 2 inches thick here. And I clipped this part away up here. And this is a gator clip, and we have a video where we talk about it and explain all the products and tools that we use. And then from there, I'm going to grab about a little bit over a quarter size amount, and I'm going to put it on the roots. I'm going to use my closed fist technique where my fingers are closed. It's locked, there's no air, and I'm just going to work through till I get all the way down. It's going to evenly distribute the products through her hair. And as you can see with her hair texture, it's actually going to straighten her hair. So then I just go and grab it very nicely here. And I'm just going to scrunch it and just hold it a couple of seconds there. The reason for doing this technique is if she doesn't want to wash her hair every day, she'll actually have very beautiful curls and very nice definition. And
so at the moment, I've gone through my first side, so I'm just kind of repeating the same process on my opposite end. Again, just kind of clawing the product through. Kind of working with really slow, kind of loose sections so that the hair falls in really nice and soft. And then through the parting here, she has a little bit of a natural parting, but I don't want to have it too defined. I think with curly hair, it's really the epitome of it to have a really nice kind of a loose aesthetic. So I'm just going to kind of go through in a zigzag kind of fashion just through the front, just so that the parting kind of falls softly in place without a really hard structure of definition. And then I'll go through back against the texture and kind of just provoke it just slightly, just to give it a little bit more definition. And then I'm going to start diffusing right after that, again, just to add a little bit more volume to my shape. How about you, Rachel? Where are you at the moment?
Well, just to recap, I'm going section by section through the hair. And one thing you want to do is make sure you hold the hair up from the previous sections, because a lot of people tend to run them all together and they get super frustrated if your parts aren't really nice and clean. And if you do the sectioning by section, then you find that you can get through it rather easy. And the back, I'm just going to part it through the middle. And I'm just going to clip it away just like I did before. I'm just moving around the head. And I'd be very surprised that if you're doing the back of your head, you think, well, maybe I can't see my head. But if I turn this way and I'm looking in the mirror, I can actually put my arms this way and I can actually see a lot of my head. So you would just kind of work it through that way. So I'm just going to continue that. And I have a question for you, Dusan. What role would you say a haircut would play with naturally curly hair?
I think it plays a huge role. You know, the haircut, as I mentioned earlier, at the moment, especially with Arthur Christine, the haircut is the style. So truly, the haircut is really the style within itself. A lot of the other entities are really just about the effect. But for us, you know, it's really all about the shape. And so hopefully if the shape is strong and suitable for the wearer, like in Sherry's case, she has this beautiful head shape. The line that we've created, it works truly with her bone structure in a very suitable fashion. So the products are just going to add to that. So again, you know, with the mousse, it's just going to add a little bit more volume and fullness. It's going to give some definition to the curl. And then the resort spray, you know, again, is just going to add that little bit more texture to the finish. And so for us here at Arthur Christine, it's really about just complete suitability. The shape, you know, the products, you know, working with the whole ambiance of someone's in total profile is really what we get, you know, into our whole effect. So I'm at the point, as I mentioned earlier, I've already applied my product. I've worked my application, my technique of application through. As we mentioned before, we're kind of doing a closed fist technique here at Arthur Christine. It's one of our kind of signature techniques that we use for working with natural curly hair when we apply a cream. And so towards the end of this look, I'm going to use a diffuser, which is just a simple attachment to a dryer. I'm going to work kind of counterclockwise to add some definition to the curl. So you'll see me using that type of motion. I'm going to work in 3 sections. I'm going to work in the center, then I'm going to work in the left side, and then I'll finish off in the right side for my look today, just to make sure that everything's consistent. I've been very repetitious with my technique all throughout. Okay, and then afterwards we'll show you our finishing look, which I think is going to be really exciting.
Thanks, Dusan. And one last thing, when you're doing all the sections, you want to make sure whatever side you choose to go on, she's going to the left. So we're going to have a slight bit of hair go this way, but all the hair from here is actually going to go back to give you volume. Because if you actually went down the middle, it would just make a very flat canvas. We don't want to do that. So one big trick is actually to let all this hair go back, and then you just kind of continue to scrunch as we go, and then we'll come back with the diffusing technique. Thank you. Right now I'm at the diffusing part, and right here there's these little nodules inside, and that is so when you scrunch the hair inside and it wraps around these little circular objects inside, it will actually allow it to bake the curl in your hair. So even if you feel like you have one bump, your hair is not that curly, you can actually get it to curl. Now in a salon atmosphere, I have my model turned upside down here so I can get that nice curl just really set in there very nice. And now if you're at home, you may whip your hair to the side and really kind of turn it like this. And when you gather your hair like this, you're going to bake that curl in there and you're going to allow it to really get in there. Now, when you're doing the diffusing technique, you really don't want to bother the hair a lot, because if you mess with it, it's going to get very frizzy. So So you want to be just very gentle, just taking your time, just a lot of patience to make it in there.
Okay, as you can see, we finished Sherry's overall look. We've added some more definition to this fantastic shape that she's already came in to our salon with today. We've created some more definition. We've added just a little bit more volume in the right places. And then we completed our look with just a little bit of texture to give it that little bit more of a modernness to the shape. And so we're really excited that it's an overall compliment. It coincides with her style and overall aesthetic. Thank you for joining us. I hope you will continue to follow some of our other tutorials that we'll be doing for natural hair texture.
Yes, and this is our completed look for Monica here. I left it a little bit wet because you can actually let it air dry a little bit more, and it actually gives a little bit more personality. So here, once it's dry, I can actually toss the look here. And there is our completed look. You can see the beautiful color, the lock. She has a little bit more definition, and cream will give her a more whimsical curl. If she wanted a little bit more definition, then a gel or a weed ad or something of that nature would give her a little bit more definition and less movement. But if you want it very soft, you don't want it looking, a little bit too crunchy, and you can use this and she's ready to go. So thank you for joining us again.
My name is Dusan.
And I'm Rachel. Thank you for watching our tutorial.
For further information, please join us at authorchristine.com. And remember, it's all about the look, the feel, the be greater than Author Christine.